ba 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 ba.
I love Kristen. It's a good thing we're not recording, so we can't hear that.
I went live 5 seconds ago, Ron.
No! Oh. I knew that. Hang on, I'll cover my tracks.
No, yeah.
Chris, don't
Oh gosh, your
check
microphone does
the
have the crack. Oh my
start
god.
of the VOD.
So, hi, Doc. Where's that new microphone, bud?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's not here yet.
I see.
Okay.
Is it noticeable?
It just happened before you started typing is all.
Oh.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Well, it's going in like 3 days, so.
Mana, mana, mana.
Mana, mana. Ba, ba, da, ba, da. Mana, mana. Ba, ba, da, ba.
Hello, everyone. It's me, your snag.
Snake.
Who else could it possibly be? It's
John.
me, not your snake.
John from the corner store.
Christian, what are you doing with your tier 2 sub here? What is this all about? What's this? What's the bribe, buddy?
I mean, Twitch was like, hey.
Happy birthday, Ray!
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Ron, and thank you, Blackheart, for your resubs for 65 and 59 months. Well, there's everyone coming in. All right, hi, everybody. It's the tier 2 for 20 months.
It's a new month. So.
It's a new month. It's a new day.
Christian, it's the 20th.
Oi, Silver Prey, this is for 11 months. Gosh, guys,
Actually, it's the 21st.
It's been 2 minutes. The first ad of the night hasn't even rolled yet. Fucking climb yourselves.
Well, Twitch is like in the Twitch chat. Like,
Merc.
hey.
Merc will wait patiently for 3 more weeks. Hydrate. Okay. Remember, when are you doing your gifting subs now?
Posture
You're
check.
not even waiting for your own sub. You're just like, fuck it. Yeet.
So good news is that my dinner is pizza, and it's already here, so I don't need a break to make dinner.
God bless.
But what if you suddenly have to voice a bunch of characters?
Doc,
It's not gonna happen.
Doc,
Me?
you must quack.
Oh, I have to. Oh.
Oh, you'll disappoint Gabe if you don't.
Oh no.
What will I ever do?
I mean, you've been answered in chat. Do you have to quack?
Gabe, I need you to Venmo me 1 cent with a thanks, buddy.
Noah, come back.
What?
Do it louder.
You want me to?
We heard.
Hold on, Noah. Hold on. We're gonna get a sub quack. There you go.
Holy moly, I'm completely replaceable.
Noah has subbed in for Duck this time.
As a dear friend, you are replaceable.
I'm replaceable. That's it. I'm done for. It's
Duck,
over.
your Kokoro is clouded. Hi, Ray.
Wait! We can show him our armband.
Ray, how was your birthday?
I had a fantastic day yesterday. Honestly, one of my better ones that I've had any birthday that I've had in my life.
I'm super
What?
happy about that, genuinely. Christian's right. We can show him our armband. Show him our armband. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, blah. Hi, Duck.
Sorry. Just a moment. Okay.
Ah!
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Genuine.
Yes. A symbol of one of our great empire's first-rate lawyers.
First rate.
Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. You'll defend me.
Oh, no, sorry, I won't. that wasn't why I was showing it to you.
Then why else would you show me that?
Not here to have Dos Equis with Soseki.
Oops. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea.
Oh my god.
Susato-san, why did I show him that?
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, a man named Christian said that we should show it to everyone.
Good question. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
That's a great question. He's my account doesn't make sense.
Soseki Natsume-san. What an unusual name. I guess. I'm sorry.
Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku.
Haiku.
It's something of a numbed plume.
What language are we talking? A nom de plume. You mean an alias?
An alias? What's he doing? More like an Alamau.
I get it.
That's right, Naruhodo-san.
No! Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that.
And haiku. That really reminds me of home.
Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student? Sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First, I had to suffer that misery. Now this, it's beyond the pale.
Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here?
No, I mean, I'm interested in Great Britain for some years, of course.
Oh,
But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it. No,
What do you mean?
I don't pay taxes. If they told me to study English literature, that I could understand. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language.
Oh.
Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable.
I see.
The other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on white washi.
I see.
You must be a man of great standing.
Oh yes, so I'm often told.
And often like to be told, it seems.
Jeez Christ, me and Mitch.
Oh, Soseki-san.
Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san?
I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder.
Murder?
Oh, no, it's all right. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife, right before my eyes.
Oh? Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? You saw the attacker, right?
I didn't see anyone.
What?
If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here?
Probably.
Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly irritating, inconvenient.
It also looked like he was doing a ninja sign there.
So Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker.
It's vital that we find out more about the case.
More.
It was an encouraging evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodging.
Sure the bookshop wasn't accursed too?
As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me.
The soul silhouette.
A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her,
Oh,
she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet.
Oh.
How terrible.
I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard.
Slight exaggeration there, perhaps.
I was terrified. I had to get away from it. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings.
That's not good.
Duck,
Yes.
you can put a little more volume into him.
I'm being wary of the volume that I create. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that.
Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English? And a young woman at that?
I have no friends!
I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people.
I thought that said different.
Built
I-
diffident.
I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you?
Uh-oh.
Apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul.
No one? Oh, great.
Oh dear.
So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it?
What conundrum?
Share, Lord Emran. We'll wait for the next Susato line.
What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum?
Well, if what Soseki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain.
Susato-san?
He says that he did not know the victim, and that there was no one else at the scene. He apparently fled without having been seen.
What if you go on a really long monologue now?
Fuck!
I see you read my novel. I'm a cat. I did.
But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit.
Ah! You! What did you just say?
I said nothing! I didn't say anything.
Wait, he thought that. What the fuck?
Oops. Perhaps I thought that a little too loudly.
Wow,
Actually,
thoughts.
that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested?
Sorry?
He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place?
Oh, yes. She's right.
It was him. That accursed great detective. He led the police to me.
Oh no!
Of all the bad luck.
Rev those chops, Ray. He's back.
He's back.
Accursed.
Great detective.
I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his sweet laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed, busybody, be gone! May you be cursed until the end of your days. Sherlock Holmes!
The German. I knew it.
I'm excited now.
Mr. Sholmes?
Oh baby.
Sherlock Holmes.
Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure.
It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me. "This is the police! Put the weapon down!" Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but it wasn't eating a weapon.
Unlike Popo in part 5.
Yes.
I understand that reference.
Aha.
I
Banana.
also understand that reference.
Banana.
Enjoy your meal. Might you realize?
Dietary discrimination devils.
Jesus!
Really quite incredible when you consider that there's a lot of cheese.
You clearly had a trying morning yesterday.
There he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Herr Lock Sholmes.
It's actually just Herlock Sholmes. He's English.
I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London.
Detection.
Detection.
Yes, the great detective is really very well known.
And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently.
You've been deduced.
Some of the knife-wielding madman, me. This weak, stupid kid didn't have a man. Stooped, not stupid. It's a little different.
I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time.
Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable.
Well, the thing is,
Uh-huh.
I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in.
Uh-huh.
Of course you were. That's only natural.
I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, flim-flammery.
Flim flam.
Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English.
Good point, but my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, "Yes, I do," and "I'm fine." The next thing I knew, I was in Manhattan. Before I knew it, I was thrown here.
Oh, so Seki.
Oh dear. I'm afraid that's hardly surprising.
I'm fine. He's not fine now.
Ryunosuke.
I need to sass this man. He's so sassable.
Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Ooh, I like that. Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, a simple mister is more than enough. When are we speaking English?
Yes, alright, yes, they've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind.
No, not his mind.
I don't speak English.
The Americans, the English are mind-breaking me. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you?
Well,
Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me?
well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour.
A student?
That's right.
I have defended a case in the Old Bailey. Only the one, though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in.
Your client.
Well, the last one was, horrendously guilty. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means.
Oh. Naruhodo-san.
Jazar! Give us a... Thank you,
Excuse
Jazar.
me, Mr. Naruhodo. It means that your client burns to death.
I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose.
But that happened. That's the mark of a defense lawyer for a great empire.
I stole it. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend.
A keepsake? Oh,
He's melting.
Aw, poor dude.
I know exactly what they're saying about me.
Oh, how do you mean?
The lawyers. All the British defense lawyers. They won't defend me.
Gosh, I wonder why.
Goodness, why do you say that?
For the same reason as you noted before, when it happened. It was only the victim and myself around. And I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit.
It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san.
And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Somebody not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot, without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said. And of course the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say, the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway.
That's awful.
They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through.
Soseki-san, it's just that. Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can for the time being.
What do you mean?
We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
We should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for.
Hello, Meta. How's it going? Well,
We're done here. And I rip out his heart.
Soulless behavior.
Briar Road.
Oh, you're Briar?
That sounds familiar.
there's gonna be a man
Strand
here.
Street. Ooh, is this a Strand game?
Strand type game, that's right.
Yeah. So this is where it happened. Briar Road.
La polizia.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak.
That is their job, you know?
But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet.
What? The helmet?
Of course. I have to try one on these days.
Well, I hope your hatty dream comes true. Oh, speaking of which...
What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh, Inspector Gregson.
This isn't on the tourist trail. I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
So you've been to the holding cells then? What do you make of the criminal?
He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
Huh. See about that. Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. Doesn't bother me. Bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. And the verdict's foregone conclusion.
Yeah. A stone cold air of rejection.
Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold.
That makes it worse somehow. Hey, check out my armband.
Alright. You're right.
Have you seen my armband?
Right?
If any random police pop up, I'll voice them.
Inspector Gregson, could I show you this?
Am I supposed to know what that is? I've never seen that insignia before.
It's worn by defense lawyers in the Empire of Japan as a symbol of their profession.
In other words, it's a worthless trinket here in Great Britain.
No, it's very important to me. It shows my spirit.
His spirit of justice.
The English gentleman keeps things like his spirit very much to himself, I have, you know.
I'm in his pants where it belongs. Oh,
Don't give up, Mr. Naruhodo.
it's too late. He's crushed my spirit already.
Oh fuck.
One day I'll find someone.
Alright, we're gonna examine it first, because why not?
Yeah. Look at that happy little...
Yes. I wanted to click. No! Gosh darn it, game. There we go. Oh, rip that bike. Windows. Strand
They
Street.
are bricked up. Knock, knock.
Okay, I made it past.
Oh, a British bicycle, look. Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore.
Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling.
It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well.
And the bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that.
Goodness, do you dislike bicycles?
No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that it involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fallen into a river, I know you'd agree with me.
We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around.
Nick in the far future shaking his damn head.
I always appreciate the small bits of characterization we get from things like this. Oh, look at the windows of that building there.
Are you sure they're windows?
Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks.
Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment.
So, the actual reasoning for why these windows are bricked up is a real life thing that was actually so fucking stupid.
There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though.
Oh dear. Everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place.
So
What's the reason?
in Great Britain, at this time, I think like for another like 30 years or something. I'd have to check the exact dates on the old wiki, but there was a window tax.
Oh.
If your property had a window, you had to pay more money. So, apartment landlords would brick up the windows to pay less, and tenants would like remove a brick or two to get fresh air in, and then put the brick back to hide the fact that the window was closed entirely.
So that's why it's like that. That's weird. That's stupid.
Window tags! Real thing!
1900s,
Very
baby.
dumb.
I learned a thing today.
That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history.
Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here.
We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors.
The window tax, based on the number of windows in a house, was first introduced in 1696 by William III to cover revenue lost by the clipping of coinage. It was a banded tax according to the number of windows in the house. Very exciting.
Oy vey.
There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks.
It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all of the snow.
I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead.
Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruhodo, and dressed all in black. I worry coachmen might not see you. You could be flattened by horses.
Well, thank you for the rather small concern.
You're rather small. God. Anything up here? No. Snowman.
What a delightful snowman.
Snom.
I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy, though.
Oh, it has a scarf, look.
You'd need one if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one.
I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, too. We certainly can't afford a scarf.
Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his.
But the person who made the snowman certainly would.
Yes, I know, you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow.
True.
True, I suppose. Not much of a joke there, it's just, yeah.
Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals.
You're very well informed, aren't you?
It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London.
Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of those windows then.
But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone.
No, I wasn't serious.
Accomplice the stone throwing.
Oh no, it's stretch time. Arms up, gamers. Raise them. Find your ceiling. Point at ceiling. Get up there. Get those arms up there. Oh, turn.
Grab
Stretch
it.
out your spine.
Grab the thread of your head with a finger and then pull it upwards.
Good stretch. Good stretch. Stretch good. Do the stretch. You better do the stretch. You better do it. You better do it, chat. Stretch with us. We all stretch down here.
That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons.
I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern.
Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs, despite not knowing a thing about what was going on.
Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all.
Ugh.
Wow.
Struth.
This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred.
Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it?
That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding.
This is Gregson's theme, by the way. It's a fucking bop. I love it. Ron?
Oh, that's me. Oi! What are you fawners doing here?
Oh, Just investigate the seal.
Conspiring with that mustache fella from Japan, are you?
Yes, conspiring?
I knew it. Come here to destroy evidence, have you? Get out of here before I give you in. Go on.
You shoot us away like rats.
Yes, we should give him wide berth, I think.
What a disappointing experience.
The sky.
Josh, there were too many apostrophes in that word for Ron to possibly guess what it was supposed to be.
Oiden!
Before I give you an Oiden!
Aiden.
The sky.
What's an Aiden? I don't know, but you're gonna
Sky.
get it.
The sky.
The sky?
The London sky.
The sky.
Maybe on the
Look
other.
at this guy.
The sky. Oh!
Yeah. The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they?
Lord Umbrin, I saw Lord, and my brain was like, oh yeah, Josh, Glenn, easy. No, no, that was not what that was.
Lord?
And with the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy.
Well, it is known as Foggy London Town.
I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built, though. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Lord Benjamin!
Almost.
That must be the Crystal Tower being built for the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time.
The Crystarian.
Apparently it's going to be very striking. Glazed on all sides and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition.
It's to be the largest exposition in history, is it? Well, it is a Phoenix Wright game.
Oh.
Well, Ace Attorney, but I can't even begin to imagine
All
it.
these shots you're taking, Christian. What the heck is up with that?
Nah, it's 3 a.m. I need to keep my energy. It's actually 3:38 a.m. Need
Can't
to
blame
keep my
that.
energy.
Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You suddenly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city.
No nonsense.
That's right.
Oh, yes. Doesn't he look wonderful?
Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh, really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work.
What? He wakes people up?
Yep. Raps on their windows while on pole. Did it myself going back a bit.
I had no idea.
The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tossing from the streets all day long.
Baba?
You have to go 20 miles a day. It's the regulation distance.
I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way.
It's pretty long. 20 miles is pretty long.
Let me see. 20 miles? That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama.
On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. Get it?
And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps.
Oh, my.
And I suppose in between all of those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well.
And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you can call it in between exactly. More alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well, and we do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit.
You don't say.
I always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do.
My God.
It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on an open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, stabbed with a blade from behind.
Well, darn.
Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital.
Never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smart, we won't be able to find out much about her at all.
Well, hell.
I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course.
Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want.
Really? Are you sure?
It's your policy to give lawyers, defendants, suspects the all bit of information to go on.
Well, that's
Tell that to
nice.
Gumshoe.
I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Ship.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Oh.
Anyway,
One moment. Slap boy.
Ah!
Mere home straight.
Briar Road. Meerschaum Street.
shout out to my boy Calabash Road.
Calabash Road.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Calabash.
Oh, yeah, come here, Callum. I'm gonna bash your head in.
As far as we know, there was no one else in the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it?
Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but
But just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else is present.
Sorry I have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
What?
How?
'Cause, ma'am, precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed.
Y'all found a witness. I'm gonna cringe.
That's cringe, bro.
what?
We have two very reliable witnesses, no less. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them.
There were witnesses now.
Oh my god.
They were witnesses.
They were roommates.
Maybe. Who are these witnesses, Inspector?
Fellow and his wife.
Oh, well.
And the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard.
A policeman.
When he's gonna have to voice this poor fool.
That might change things. I would love to voice him, but I don't know if
Alright,
that's a good idea.
Kristen.
I would love to, but
Go right ahead, buddy.
What's
All
stopping
right.
you?
voicing a lot.
Like you'd like someone else to take it on.
No,
Hey, we
I
can take a good look at it and I might be able to do it.
You know what? Christian volunteered if he wants to. He can take it right away.
All right.
Okay.
And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked.
Nothing peculiar about that, man. Possible being a bobby, catching them banging the act and all that.
Banging the act.
Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions?
My guess, ask him what you like. In court tomorrow.
Oh,
I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to.
that's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet that man beforehand, it seems.
A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed.
Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too.
So mean!
Zam.
So sass.
Damn.
Phenomenal. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector.
What?
The person who led you to the suspect. I hear that was Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
What are you bringing him up for?
Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. Well,
Skip tomorrow's trial. We gotta ask about Shelms now.
Who did you hear that name from?
it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings.
I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes's inspirational great deductions.
Fiddle faddle!
Ah!
The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere.
Oh,
I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up all the scene of a crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case!
yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he?
Ray's voicing two characters that hate each other. I love this. Rival with himself.
He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble!
I love that Pokemon.
Ever seen this before?
Oh, yes. That's Rand's magazine.
The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, seems fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories.
Yeah.
And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us! To ask anyone on the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Herlock Sholmes tale at all!
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be front when the public thinks to the obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals.
He's a danger to our
That
hearts.
can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Are they roommates?
Rival.
I find it quite simple, actually.
That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trials tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not?
Well,
Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his soul will touch that case with a barge pole.
Not a barge.
because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean?
No way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying.
Oh, yeah?
It's all a bit strange.
Sorry?
The Reaper? He hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with us are the real scum. The master criminals. Violent ones.
You mean like our previous client? Master criminals.
The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims. Only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins.
The pusher.
But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely?
That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase.
I think
What's
it's
going
quite
on,
apropos.
man?
I think he
going
sinks
on?
his teeth into quite a lot of necks. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
What's going on here?
Spooky.
Scary.
Skeleton.
Thank you! Oh my god!
There's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest.
Oh, Josh. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can tell what's going on in the head of that Lord of Darkness?
Oh my god, he's Medius.
You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
In court, women and children cry. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he
The
put it.
Lord of Darkness.
Medius, the Dragon of Darkness.
The Lord of Darkness.
The CEO of racism.
Lord of D.
Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective.
Mr. Naruto, can I make a suggestion?
Oh, yes? What is it?
Oh, well, It seems to me that we must speak with him about this.
By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Exactly.
Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all of this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not something my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again.
The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address.
It's Baker Street.
How do you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing stopping us from going, I suppose. We'd better try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Oh, too late for that.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage.
So, we're to have a reunion already. With the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
It's like how she not admitted his thoughts. Like,
Yeah.
She knows.
We also we do
They're
have to be
psychically linked.
we do have to be quite careful there because there's a lot of achievements to be careful of.
Alright, time for me to drink some Snapple fruit punch.
time for me to fucking die.
Which you've been hunting? Oh man.
Before we talk with whoever's there, we gotta do some inspecting and
Oh,
doing
God.
things in certain order. Oh, pinch me, I'm sure I must be dreaming.
All right, prepare yourselves, chat, and me. I gotta prepare myself too. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a pawnbroker.
Thank you very much.
A jeweler.
It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
That's a lot of plants for the middle of winter.
Maybe he's a horticulturalist.
Maybe.
Sholmes
that's
is sweet.
Yeah.
He is sweet. So, this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato?
Sholmes must pay a lot of taxes for those windows.
Susato-san?
Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the stories, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, I suppose I can, yes.
So if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me.
She's obsessed. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at the present.
Did we just walk in? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm coming into your home now, Sholmes.
Breaking and
Let me
entering.
in! Let me in!
Breaking and entering. Time to charge you dudes.
He's a consultant detective. Anyone can enter. Excuse me, is anybody home?
Oh, do we have a visitor?
Small.
Hello! Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes?
Hello. Wait. Aren't you...
Oh, Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once.
I'm sure it's the same girl. Miss Susato, did you see the girl who was just here?
Oh, yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary?
Fuck you for 369 months. Nice. Nice.
Wow, nice.
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 To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The King of Bohemia?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
King Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund von Ormstein, of course.
I've read that Sherlock Holmes story.
Is it good?
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
Is it good?
It's pretty good. It's quite feminist for its time.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the only stories where Holmes loses, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Fuck.
A woman beats him.
Based.
Forget the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a moment and look over there.
I'm still gotta have water. Like, fuck. I have to put my finger on a part of my throat to make noise that's coming out of Iris right now.
The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly made cake as well. Ah, it's you.
I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. I mean, she does look like any other British kid, but...
I'm not reading this.
Flashback.
We already did this. I'm not reading it twice. You were here last stream. I think I'm reading this twice.
Oh, good day to you.
No! You shut up. Be quiet, Christian.
I miss you, Gina.
It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGillet's trial in the defendant's antechamber.
The defendant's antechamber. I'm mentally bracing myself, chat. Just give me a second.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before.
I love her theme.
Poor you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Oh, yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color?
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves together. Different leaves designed to relieve your fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here. You have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Does Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, Shirley.
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday, after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think?
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me! I haven't introduced myself, have I? Enchanté. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson.
Wilson!
I live here together with Hurley.
Or in original Japanese. Watson! Iris, what? What's the matter?
No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson?
What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh, I'm Ryonosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie?
And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye.
She just named him a Turk. What?
I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
How do you...
She's in there.
Wait. Before we do-
Look, I'm doing this first, all right, buddy?
Okay. Iris, could I show you this?
Oh, how exciting! What is it? Tell me all about it.
Oh, actually, I was hoping you might be able to tell me something about it, if anything comes to mind.
Why would it?
Well, no, I suppose it wouldn't.
Tell me, tell me. I want to hear everything.
This hasn't gone according to plan. Anyhow, we need to do some inspection first.
This child is killing me. Oh boy. Oh, Lord.
Who's gonna tell her about her dad?
Don't worry about it.
That's fine.
Haven't even looked over on this side of the room yet. Holy fuck.
Oh, jeez.
Gee willikers.
For the achievement here, during investigation part 1, Shumsesuit, you'll be greeted by Iris Wilson. Before conversing with her, examine the room and scroll to the left to inspect the violin. You must do this before talking about the Wilson topic, or you won't get the achievement.
Oh fuck.
Additionally, you must also inspect the blackboard on the right side of the scene before talking about the same topic. I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, isn't it?
Of course it is. Mr. Sholmes is renowned for his violin playing.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. It's often explained in the stories. It's inspirational, Mr. Naruhodo. Inspirational. I immediately started playing the koto, which was the closest Japanese stringed instrument I could find.
What a shame you couldn't bring it with you to London.
Oh, yes. Well, Papa was beaming when I asked him if he would buy me one. But after a while, he asked if I would only practice when he was out of the house. So, now it's merely an ornament in my room.
That must have been an awkward conversation.
Oh dear.
Wow, I did get an achievement called Second Rate Strings. Ugh. That's so mean. This is about a blackboard, Christian.
Yeah, that one right
yeah.
there.
That's my blackboard where I note down ideas.
Oh, interesting. Let's see. Black Peter. What does that mean?
There's gunpowder in it?
They've had guns by now.
Don't you want to hear what Iris has to say, Miss Naruhodo?
I'll come back to that blackboard later.
Isn't that gunpowder?
You got part 1 out of 7 out of an achievement just now. What's on earth is-
7!
Yes, you must do that 7 different times.
Jesus.
What on earth is that big black lump over there? Across both games.
That fascinating thing is called a typewriter. It's a machine that allows you to write on paper without needing a pen. And wizardly quickly, too.
Ooh, that sounds like it could be very useful for someone like me with terrible handwriting.
Terrible
But
handwriting.
yeah, whenever. You don't need to worry about achievements anymore, except for when we're done talking to her. That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles, too.
Oh, yes, but don't touch any of those. They might explode.
Puh! Explode!
Are they exotic chemicals? Do you use them for exciting experiments? Yes, indeed. And as Hurley always says, chemistry is an explosive science.
Sorry?
I agree. A single discovery can trigger an explosion of innovation all around the world.
Oh, perhaps he just meant it literally. Either way, mental note, do not touch any bottle that belongs to Iris.
He loves it.
What a beautiful English tea set, and so neatly arranged.
It's a favorite pastime of mine. A cup of herbal tea in the afternoon. Tea made of herbs?
I've written on a typewriter before.
That's right. I grow all sorts of herbs in the garden so I can experiment with different blends. One moment. Don't go away. I'll brew a pot of the special blend I came up with earlier today.
She looks delighted. I only hope it's safe to drink.
Why wouldn't it? Naruhodo, come on, man.
We just talked about explosives.
a mysterious shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon. What an entrancing collection.
This is the first time in my life that I've seen a lonely old shoe displayed as an ornament.
Oh, those are all mementos that Hurley has collected from his past cases.
Really? Even the bust?
Yes, that's right. When the mood takes him, he likes to throw it on the floor and smash it to dust.
Oh, the poor defenseless emperor. Mr. Shums destroys it?
Yes, and then he buys a new one.
You make it sound like he has the temperament of an insane sculptor.
How entrancingly bohemian of him.
Huh.
Yes.
Jesus!
Bohemian is a word for it.
They renamed that stand, you know.
I think we've gotten everything on this screen.
I do believe so, yes.
Seeing check marks and everything.
I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Look at that, it's animated. Lingering beside the fire and watching the flames flicker and dance in the grate. It's so relaxing.
We can't relax. Not when there's so many interesting things on the mantelpiece.
Give me a moment.
Oh, it's just as it was described in the stories.
It is?
Yes, exactly. Inside that Persian slipper, for example. And my jackset for 11sies. And transexabit large jackknife is my shopping that's for the market. Oh, it's not quite how I remember it being described in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes.
Poor Susato-san. She looks crushed.
My throat's
Oh,
getting
well.
crushed, let me tell you what.
It looks like that huge metal chest is being used as a table for tea and coffee. It seems very sturdy, with an equally sturdy lock.
Mr. Naruto, you mustn't go around opening things.
I want to!
I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're very mischievous.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Oh, that chest. Contains some of my most valuable things.
And that smile tells me you're not going to give us any clue about what they are.
You'll never know.
She'll never tell.
Oh. The Earth is a sphere.
There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment.
I keep telling Hurley
Launch!
I keep telling Hurley not to cramp so much in those shelves.
Smash!
Days! Good advice.
He wanted to look something up in one of those books a while ago. But it was so tightly wedged in he couldn't get it out, so he went and bought a new copy instead.
The rich, am I right? Yes,
Is he okay? He's charmingly rich.
It's charmingly right. Alright. The thing. Damn, that's it. Only one more thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
What on earth is this huge, over-the-top machine?
That's the great analytoscope. It can
Oh, I
analyze
went to
anything,
that
really.
dungeon.
Hey!
That's a Final Fantasy XIV reference.
Anything at all. That's absolutely incredible. It's one of Hurley's inventions. It took him a whole year. He said it was to help him with his investigations. What sort of things does he analyze with it? Do you know? Well, actually, he hasn't used it for anything yet. Oh.
His cocaine habit, you see.
Why not?
Apparently, on the evening he finally completed it, it suddenly occurred to him, I don't actually have anything I need to analyze. Oh dear. How about you, Bruno? Do you have anything you'd like to analyze?
The only thing that springs to mind is this machine itself.
There are bullets out there, actually. Josh is right.
Whoa. Sorry, internet. I had a hiccup there. Why are there all those bullet holes in the wall up there? Was Mr. Sholmes trying to shoot a pestery fly or something?
Mr. Sholmes would never do something so reckless.
No?
Those are the letters VR, standing for Victoria Regina. It's Latin for Queen Victoria.
So you mean he shot the queen into the wall?
In a moment of boredom, Mr. Sholmes adorned the wall with a patriotic sign, that's all. As pistol practice.
Right, that makes perfect sense now.
It's exactly as described in the stories. Oh, this is delightful.
I'm not sure that the real explanation is any less reckless than shooting a fly, personally.
It's patriotic, Mr. Naruhodo. Patriotic.
Guns of the
Fascinating.
Patriots.
Gundams of the Patriots.
Mm.
We did it, Christian.
We did it.
Look at
But-
everything.
Yes, but once we've talked about that topic in the middle, we need to back out and look at the blackboard again.
Okay.
It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey.
Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming.
Though at the time we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Oh no!
Like this? Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you?
Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Ginny? Yeah, she's a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that.
Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
This girl is dangerous.
Anyway, I brought Jimmy back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician.
Sorry, your technician?
Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley. Yes, Herlock Sholmes. We live here together.
I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Not likely.
A what?
I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I?
I don't know with you British.
Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings in any kind of London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate.
They
Oh
were
my God.
roommates!
Your roommates?
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year.
Congratulations. Well, what of your mother and father?
Oh, you
Oh
know.
no, they're not around.
Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there.
10.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and... Oh! You have a copy of Rand's magazine. Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world.
My stories?
That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you were the author. Yes, I'll let you in a secret if you like. I'm gonna call this latest adventure The Speckled Band.
Brilliant. The Speckled Band?
Got
That's certainly very familiar.
I'm dying. Oh, give me a second, chat. Holy fuck.
Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course I know that the snake might not be a credible threat for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think. Don't you?
Really pulling on the strings of the original novel there, but...
So, do you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rent's magazine all written by me? Yes! On my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But what are the stories I've ever read? Are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Susato-san's getting more and more worked up.
Yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true, too. I'm a doctor of medicine.
No! At 10 years old?
Ryunosuke stepping in for the audience for a second there.
At 10 years old.
Well, that's quite incredible.
But
Genius is what we call it.
Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it?
I mean, who would ever believe I was the actual one?
Christy, please.
No one would ever write something like that. It's so silly.
A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does, yes.
What did Shu Takumi mean by this? Poor Susato-san.
What did he mean by this?
She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart.
I have witnessed something special.
Oh boy!
True Monopoly.
Takumi throwing his own work under the bus, yeah. Alright. Back to the
No
blackboard.
check mark.
Ah, that's my blackboard where I note down ideas.
Black Peter. What does that mean?
Oh, how intriguing. It must be the title of Iris's latest work. Oh my. I wonder which fantastic tale awaits us.
Susato-san looks like an angel, but I bet she's dreaming of the most grisly crime you could imagine.
It's a case that Hurley solved just recently. A black cat called Peter went missing in the neighborhood. Hurley tracked it down at the fishermongers in the end. Well, I can't wait for the story to be published.
Yay! 2 out of 7.
Alright, Susato.
Yay!
But we're done with the achievements for this chapter, so...
Oh, thank God.
About before.
Yes? What's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me.
How did you know that I was a lawyer? LA. And we just arrived in London, I mean.
Dude, I feel that so bad.
Yes. Oh, and then we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although, there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Iris Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. First of all, I know already that you were a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that?
I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh,
So I'm reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
Lady Edelgard.
the Reaper of the Bailey. I walked her into that one, didn't I?
And then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. and a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So, that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already had...
Had already had? Oh boy.
Two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at the local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see.
But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he'd caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling.
A Japanese man. Clearly that must have been...
By the way, I noticed he had his pin on his collar.
Yeah.
His school pin.
Mr. Natsume. Now, Reno has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves, so I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could have led me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case.
You are clearly better at this than he is.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's worlds of difference between competency there.
There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He is silly.
He is silly.
And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions.
He's charming.
Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
You even managed that. The certain something of Mr. Shums's delivery.
Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please.
Oh, oh my god, Lucky!
Case of the Japanese man.
Right, look at chat.
I'm afraid I don't have chatty open.
Oh, like he said, Iris has 30% better hit and evade than Shomes thanks to her having genius. Unfortunately, Shomes has zeal instead.
Genius!
Holmes is the seal kind of guy.
Shomes acts twice, but Iris hits better. Oh god. I'm alive, I'll live.
So yesterday, Mr. Shomes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying?
Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking stooped man run away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking stooped man.
Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all.
Hurley used his great detective powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man, shivering in fear.
Mr. Shomes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did. He's a great detective.
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear. I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system.
I suppose it is. But in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san.
Well, I guess he's gonna die.
Oh well. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I had so much fun!
Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well.
Ryden Fargo, thanks for following.
Ah, well. I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there?
Yes, we know Inspector Gregson.
Goody. In that case, give Gregsy this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this?
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems.
Huh?
Inspection time.
It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust it won't be a problem."
Jesus.
What is this blackmail?
Hold up.
Oh,
What actual bribery is this?
That's cute.
Iris's little handwriting is adorable, isn't it?
Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust it won't be a problem.
Yes, the handwriting might be adorable, but the message is ominous. There's no room for sentiment there.
I'm sure it's simply the way you're interpreting it, Mr. Naruhodo. Anyway, I do hope the inspector will tell us what we need to know when he reads it.
You don't think it will just make him munch piping hot chips until steam comes out of his ears, do you?
Well, that wouldn't be an entirely terrible outcome.
Spell it with hearts.
This is a 5-shilling piece, isn't it? I believe it's called a
Yoink.
crown.
Oh,
Yes, and you can train a Scotland Yard detective to do whatever you want with just a single one.
Iris must be the most powerful 10-year-old in the world.
How much is 5 shillings, by the way? What's it really worth?
Well, it's probably enough to buy all the chips the inspector could possibly eat in a whole month.
That's greasy. I'm
the
so
word to call
charming.
it.
Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it?
Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck, then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special buns of tea, so come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris.
Oh,
Well, Miss Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime.
I'm free.
Hooray. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all.
Talk to her about her dad? No. Why would we do that?
They didn't realize or recognize. Wait a second, Wilson. They kind of forgot about him.
Wait.
We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand.
Are we getting to
yeah,
be
it weighs
continued
5 whole
already?
pounds.
Holy
To be
shit!
continued.
Wow. That's impressive.
And now the trial begins.
I understand.
Oh.
Bum, 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 bum. I think this is case 4.
Yeah, one left. One left after this. There's already 4 of 5. Can you believe it? It's like there's meant to be 2 games from the start, and they had to split them up.
I mean, I know that much.
Whoa.
Who do you think I am?
Duckbert.
Who do you quack I am?
What do you
It
think
looks
I'm
as though-
thinking?
It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation.
Yeah. Ask yourself a question, Christian.
Yes.
What else would they be doing?
Beating up minorities.
Patrolling 20 miles.
Whoa! Whoa! Christian!
Yeah. We are protecting a Japanese man.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him.
Bubba.
Le Gregson! It's Le Gregson. Le Gregson. Well,
Can we show him the map he gave us?
I mean, we could try.
Oh, thank you again for this.
I'll mention it. Someone in the yard went out fish it out for me. And I didn't need it.
Fish.
No?
Well, case could hardly be simpler, could it? I don't need a map to work out what happened. You can throw it away when you're done with it.
Cold.
Time to
map,
watch
yeah.
him break in half.
Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment?
I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure.
We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? From a ladyship?
Her ladyship.
Oh no! Get out of here! At once! Come on, hand it over! That's for me!
Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you?
Jesus.
What was that coin exactly?
It's a silver crown, obviously! But it's a lot more than that! It's an appearance fee, that's what it is!
An appearance fee. Oh, I see. You mean...
That's right! The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. The ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time.
Well, that's kind.
Yes, yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Of course, using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still...
I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you.
That must be difficult for you.
Never you mind that. Oh, excuse me. Never you mind that. So, what you want to know then, eh?
Sorry?
Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know?
Damn.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fella. He lives in Ryan Old Hovel. It's just over there. Look,
Oh,
on the first floor of that house on the corner where the wreck of a bicycle's propped up.
So when he says he ran away, he ran across the street.
Yes.
yes.
That is nearby indeed.
If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Garideb.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! You're on.
Right, well,
He's an extremely wrong character.
you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear?
So, Ron, the voice I'd like you to put on for Mr. Garideb is Valkyria Chronicles 2 Headmaster.
Oh, Moriarty got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sent his very best wishes.
Don't worry, Inspector. We will.
Oh my god. It's Gregson, our biggest fan.
Goodbye for now, then. And long live her ladyship.
So he hates Sholmes, but he likes Iris.
Well, Iris pays him.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yes. So then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
Definitely.
Garideb is also a name from Sherlock Holmes.
No way.
Thank God for the staple, by the way.
Yeah! You're
I'll
gonna
bet.
need it, Ray, because here he comes. Well, in a moment at least.
In a moment.
May I help you?
Yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garideb?
Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling?
My name is Ryonosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume.
It's not a problem.
Sosuke.
It's not a problem.
Naruto!
Naruto? Sasuke? I believe he takes lodgings here. Oh!
Wait for me, Susato.
God.
We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client. Oh! 1 moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garideb.
Did you see that, Miss Susato? That was a real-life English maid.
Ryonosuke.
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only need a butler, and the experience will be complete.
Was there no one at the hotel? Anyway, well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment.
Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garideb will see you now. This way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that tracks.
So that's Mr. John Garideb.
His face looks like a half moon.
Exactly, thank you. You noticed it. I was going to point it out. None of you did, but yes, that's exactly what it is.
Good day to you, John Garideb, at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryonosuke Naruhodo. He is a defense lawyer.
Hello.
Do excuse me for not getting up. I took a shot to the knee a few years back. I used to be an adventurer in the Battle of Maywan, you know. Earned the medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from the service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings.
So he's a retired soldier.
It's a hell of a job getting up and down the stairs now, I can tell you. Don't get out much, as you can imagine.
Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
Really, Ryonosuke?
You saw how crooked
Ryonosuke's
those stairs were.
malnourished.
You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo.
Shut up. Do you think so?
Well, Mr. Garideb, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it up on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let the good people see it properly. Joan, fetch it. Ah! Dash it all, woman, be careful!
Oh, dearie me. I do beg your pardon, sir.
You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands.
I should be more careful, sir.
So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now.
Yes, I see.
Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right?
Yes, we'd be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only to please, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. You forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were.
Yeah, don't worry, this alliance won't last too
Is
long.
it?
Even had some famous detective poking around, you know. In this old house, would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business.
Not one for detecting, are we?
Oh, but you have a copy of Rance magazine here, so...
No,
Anyway, the chap's investigating the phone's room as we speak.
So he's in Soseki-san's room.
It's a bully nuisance is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now.
Twitch.tv/curtains.
I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling.
Well, we got a new room, so you know what that means.
It's a medal.
That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased in a very grand banner.
Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say. Although it bothers me that it's not straight.
What? That old thing?
Sorry?
I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it. Keeps the bully thing out of my way.
So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose.
There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look, let me see. It says, "For distinguished participation."
Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for.
Oh, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of the medalists to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles.
I love this kind of character.
Distinguished participation.
He's something alright.
That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Ha! Not much better than rags, really.
Oh?
Wore that ceremonial garb in my retirement bash, you know. But I'm not one for dwelling on the past, me. Would have gladly thrown it out, but you know how it is. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to have an odd piece of memorabilia lying around, does it?
Oh, I see.
The only piece of memorabilia I can see, yes. Perhaps we should leave the past in the past.
He would be great friends with Yesanosa.
Bitches love cannons.
That's a full-sized cannon! What's it doing in here?
Oh my, it's real. I thought it might be a replica.
That old thing? Oh, I see it, friend. Just a little more than a toy.
Sorry?
The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home.
Meteor, I'm not gonna lie. I just realized that she's supposed to be the sun with the way her headpiece is.
Yeah, you're right.
She's the sun and he's the moon. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that the first time. That's great.
Miss Shine and Mr. Bright!
Yeah, that's great. That's great, actually.
That's amazing. I never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. You know, it's perfectly legal.
We actually do have, like, if I took a walk from my house, you know, on my island, if I took a walk to the city, I would pass by a cannon. An actual old cannon.
Yeah,
I
and
used to
some parts of
play on that
Canada-
thing when I was a kid.
Back when I lived in Quebec, there's like a park, just like in the middle of Quebec City, and there's just cannons, just still there on the field, just sitting there. They just haven't moved them. They're still there. I don't think they're operational anymore, but they're they're just there, lined up where they were back during what war hit Canada? I think the Americans tried to invade in the 1800s.
We had a couple of British around.
Point is, there's just cannons still on the field there.
People think he's stirring his tea with his pipe. I like to think he put it behind his cup and then make it look like he's stirring.
Yes, clearly, it's fake. It's all fake, just like the rest of him.
Wizardry.
All smoke and mirrors in this house.
Really? It isn't overkill?
Be prepared, I always say. You never know what this twisted world is going to throw at you next, boy.
Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Garideb?
Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see. They dry very well on the cannon there, Joan tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel.
It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame.
Man.
What is going on down there, by the way?
Nothing.
There's a lot going on down there, actually.
Nothing
We'll
at
look
all.
at that later.
Remember that for later, viewers.
That portrait of Mr. Garideb is glaring at me, I swear.
Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garideb as well?
Yes, and it seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well.
Maybe
Jesus
I'm a
Christ.
lion.
Ah, yes, seemed to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket.
Seem to come back. What do you mean?
The chap who runs the place is a bully wizard. Went in to sell him something and he came out with that thing. In point of fact, now that I think about it, I rather find it odd. I rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need. I know that feel.
The lion ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirements.
Susato-san doesn't pull her punches, or her throats for that matter.
She's a giver, not a taker.
Surplus indeed.
I notice you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garideb. Do you enjoy reading?
No.
No. Ever experienced London winter, my boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book.
Jolly!
Oh, there's a copy of Rance magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Garideb enjoys the adventures of Herlock Sholmes too.
The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem.
What?
Look at that enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yes, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from you. What could be
Indeed.
behind it, I wonder?
What could be behind it, I wonder?
I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek.
Maybe let's not, Miss Susato. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea.
He didn't even comment on it.
Oh, look! What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up? It looks more like someone has half demolished them to me.
Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garideb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. That sounds delightful.
Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Well, naturally. It would never do to waste the leftovers. So whatever Mr. Garideb doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up.
How magnanimous of you.
Fat joke.
She's fat!
Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it?
What a crock.
Oh my, a genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? It's also broken and shattered, and we can literally see cracks and everything from here.
Not
Oh my
quite that
god.
not quite that delightful, Susato.
Although the shelves seem to be broken and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces.
It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice.
I wonder... Perhaps the cannon was fired at it.
Yes, probably something like that. But let's not delve too deeply here.
The cannon.
Cannon.
This window looks out over Briar Road where the young woman was attacked.
Oh, yes. I can make out the policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene.
The glass is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly.
Does this thing open at all, I wonder?
I shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of a London winter, sir.
Sorry?
As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No Londoner would go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you.
It seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything of the incident then.
Oh, we're not allowed to see.
Can we look at the Whatever that stick is.
Nope.
Nope.
Spooky.
I can't find anything out of place.
I can't find anything out of place.
Why would you think there was something there? Clearly.
Oh shit, questions.
About Mr. Natsume then, Mr. Garideb. Please, do tell us.
Ah, yes, the Japanese CHAP. Only been lodging here for a week.
Oh, just 1 week. So he moved in very recently then.
Yeah, it's been 1 week since you lodged with me. You stabbed the woman in the back and then you ran away.
I have 2 lodges most of the time. One on the ground floor, and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago, you see. Darn it all, Joan! Dash it all, even. Do be careful.
Golly
Dash
gee
row.
willikers, it's like she's trying to stop him from saying things that we might not be, wanting to hear.
Ah.
Or
Ah.
she's just a clumsy maid.
Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. Christian, you and I both know that's very possible.
Consarn it, Joan.
If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. I'm racist, you see.
Oh dear.
Oh? Why?
He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder.
To be
Man
fair,
had
yes.
shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me.
He does look quite shady.
I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything.
We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
That may be out of your control.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all?
Oh, yes, indeed there was.
And she's dying to tell us.
Ah!
Had you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume?
Oh my word, yes. The man was shadier than an orchard.
Could you elaborate?
Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day without another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the fine little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too.
Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night, but I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning.
Ah,
Could you clarify something, I wonder?
What, pray?
How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine?
Oh!
I understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor in the house. Is that correct?
Oh, it's me. Oh, that's right, yes. They're both below us on the first floor and street level. I'm not sweating.
Then, how is it you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed.
Grief, Jared! Be more careful, woman!
oh, how
Oh my
Moe.
goodness! Sir, I'm terribly sorry, sir!
Moe!
Something doesn't add up here.
A real Moe blob, this Jonah.
Gap.
It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window at around that time?
The window?
Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garideb household.
Hello, Scory.
So I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan?
No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at the hour. Meow. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite
True.
Would you like some tea, Toad?
I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road.
Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Duck,
Such as?
it's time.
What?
It's time, Duck.
It's time for me.
It's time.
Boing.
Yeah, excellent.
That was a very pathetic sounding quack.
He's just in character for Mr. Soseki.
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated.
Well,
Yes? Was there something then?
it's nothing particularly significant, but around that sort of time there... Oh, for the love of God, Joe, what you doing?
Oh, dearie me! What have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir.
Do be more careful, woman, for the 5th time.
Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow.
Oh. Yes?
Prepare for a long line of people getting Naruhodo's name wrong.
I have an exceedingly good memory. As far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh. Really? Mr. Garideb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been.
Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of screams. Don't dash it all! What was the matter with you, woman?
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to quite an uneventful meal, and don't...
That's right, Mr. Garideb.
What is the matter with these two?
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what?
I wish I knew.
That's the problem.
You'll never know.
Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on?
Oh, yes, certainly. Just below us, on the 1st floor.
And Mr. Shums is investigating there, even as we speak?
Yes. Toby, not his name, had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Shums' services?
That's a blatant lie.
Would it be...
Would it be alright if we also had a look around? In Mr. Natsume's room, I mean.
Don't see why not. It's just one flight of stairs.
Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try.
Well, you'll find a Sherlock, that's for sure.
We need all the clues we can lay our hands on. Shall we?
Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Shums again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
Enjoy.
Guy's a fucking card.
Can we look at,
Oh, I can't present, damn.
Joined the
we
world,
look at
drained from
people?
face.
Oh, we sure can. look at
I'm
people,
curious about these two.
Myers Gregson. So sick, not some 33? Damn, life's been hard on him.
Sure.
Yeah, a little bit. As someone who just turned 33.
10.
10.
10. Made.
Oh no! Don't ask a woman her age.
Or her name.
Garideb.
Damn, your face is very narrow.
Yeah, and her face is very wide. You know, sun, moon. It's
Yeah, I gotta sell the monkey, yes.
Ha ha!
ha ha.
Ha ha! My god. A cat!
2 cats.
Meow.
Also, you've been here a week.
Yeah, he sure
It's
has.
a very. Oh well. What? Just look at this place. And smell it, it's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that. Miss Usador?
I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life.
No, me neither. It's so dark in here, too.
Is that the window over there?
Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. But for some reason it's been closed up with bricks and mortar.
Well, you see.
So this is where Mr. Natsume lives.
By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere. Have you?
No, that's true. But according to what Mr. Garideb told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating.
I'm sure
Golly,
he's
I
on,
wonder.
I'm sure he's on the ceiling. Just looking at us.
I can't see him anywhere.
He's invisible.
Oh, look! It's a beckoning cat from home.
Just an echo mannequin.
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that mannequin all the way from Japan with him.
I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. You're forgetting the enormous Dharma doll that you brought in your luggage?
Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm.
He brought a whole fucking Daruma with him. You kidding me?
Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
It's not doing a very good job so far, is it?
No.
You mustn't say such things!
I didn't! I didn't say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway?
Easily defeated.
Look at all those books stacked up there. They almost reached the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you?
No, what a dreamy idea.
A bad dream, maybe. For me, at least.
He's illiterate.
Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again.
So reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy.
Trash!
He's writing.
He's
You
writing.
can clearly see the pen
He's
there.
He's writing.
Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. There are notes scrawled all over them. In
Mel.
English. Mel.
There are notes scrawled all over them. Mel. You don't know how many of these books are erotica. You've no idea.
It looks like the waste paper basket is so full they've just fallen out.
So full.
I think Mr. Natsume must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you?
Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess.
I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth.
Where, Mr. Oh, why has he got a juicy jar over here?
It's a honeypot.
If all
Yeah, it's honey or something.
if all the notes in the waste paper basket are his writings, what do you think? Could you even call this a window or a wall?
I think so. So the sweat drips from... Anyway,
Thank you.
it was a window at one time after all. Although, all that remains is a frame around some bricks now.
So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it?
All in all,
Is
it's
this our
just another-
stepladder gag?
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
It's a reference to a song. But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that?
I'm afraid I have no idea why anyone would get bricked up like that. Ah, perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design on in a fit of whimsy.
Perhaps he downloaded the wrong torrent. That's alarmingly feasible.
Fuck. I'm not ready for some of these. I'm not mentally prepared.
I
Wow.
believe he would just brick himself like that.
Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive.
Damn, just like America.
It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely tiring. That desk seems to be wedged in a crevasse between the mountains of books on the other side.
I appreciate your pronunciation, Miss Susato. I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes. Shut up. Surely he dreamt of books every night as well. I know what you are thinking, and I will not stand for this.
I do enjoy his stroke game, after all.
Someone spray this snake with water.
Okay.
Yes, he must have done, mustn't he?
What were we talking about?
Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a secondhand bookshop. Your books.
Oh, mine? Thank you. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name is on it, look. And the date of purchase. 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. Bum, 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 bum,
Over
bum.
under on there being some kind of writing on the back of it.
Oh,
Well, maybe you look.
Nope.
the sum of
Picture
2
of
shillings.
Monsieur Lecoq.
A meal for Gabrielle.
I'll be back in 10 seconds.
Can't believe no one wanted to read the last book.
Canterbury Yearnings.
Stop!
What's up?
What was that?
What's up?
Canterbury Yearning. Oh,
How's it going?
Sholmes jump scare. Check there before, not there. Inspect stuff, click back. Boom! Vine boom.
What a lad.
White man
Oh,
jump
lad.
scare.
Terrifying.
Ah!
Oh, but when I'm around.
Oh my, what an adorable little cat! Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain?
Perhaps Mr. Natsure brought the little creature with him from Japan.
That's made me feel homesick now.
Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days.
Goodbye, Neko. I'll miss you. Meanwhile,
Ah! Look, Mr. Naruhodo!
Aha! There he is. Where did he appear from?
He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope he won't mind if we disturb him. Hello! Mr. Shums!
Ah, you two. Good day.
My man.
Now, let me see. Where was it that we met?
Oh, Mr. Shums, we were together on the SS Buria.
Yes, of course, the barrier. And let me see. What happened on that voyage?
It was Kazuma Asogi. He died, tragically. But you were a great help to us.
Ah, yes, but of course. Case of Mr. Asagi. Was the one with the snake, wasn't it?
Oh,
Well, you seem to remember something of it at least.
what an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Shums.
I appreciate your
This
spark.
is Mr.
Oh, no, my dear madame, hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain handing. Miss Naruhodo. And Mr. Susato.
Try the other way around, Mr. Shorts.
I lose the first round. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. Some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene.
Ambushed. They're rolling a Sholmes stakeout.
Oh, he was gonna meet us there. That's really kind of him, actually.
It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes.
So they apprehended Soseki-san in that short an amount of time?
Yeah.
I'm afraid the pursuit of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements in it.
A little.
It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic is elastic balls and can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out with useful ones.
It's us. We're useless facts.
Yeah.
Yes, those are my own words of the inimitable wisdom, you know, from an adventure entitled A Study in Scotland.
It's good.
Oh, fuck.
You may have noticed before, but Sholmes and Iris share animations.
They sure
in
do.
some
Of course
things.
they do.
Yeah, like the finger
Little
flick there.
flip.
Yeah. It's good.
Very on brand.
Please, there's no need to quote yourself.
I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately, my associate pens them beautifully.
He means Iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned.
Goodness, what an earnest expression! My dear madame, I should be the one only too pleased. And this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case.
Would you look at my armband?
What's this now? Mr. Naruto, please! Despite aspersions to the contrary, I am a professional. If I am to release my deductive powers on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash.
Oh, I don't need you to make any deductions about it. I was just wondering if you might know.
Mr. Naruto, as a professional, I insist that if I am able to offer my opinion on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash.
I believe Mr. Sholmes has his eye on an expensive copy of the complete works of Shakespeare.
Yes, to stand on the stage of Miss Raffles' applause. It has long been a dream of mine, as you know.
I literally had no idea.
Damn. Mr. Sholmes.
We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road.
Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines.
But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little?
I'm sorry, Mr. Sato.
Uh-oh.
But I have exclusive proof.
Well, I have not the slightest idea what you mean.
What?
I can't believe he was looking Susato-san squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance.
I assure you, I am not merely feigning ignorance.
What the?
How does everyone know what he's thinking?
Because it's a phenomenal joke.
It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension.
Oh? How?
I assure you, I have no recollection of accusing your stupid patriot of crime.
But that doesn't make sense.
The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene.
A man seen fleeing.
There were a number of books scattered on the pavement of the scene. From the bookplates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, would you say? I believe there was a seat among here somewhere from the establishment in question.
So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then?
That I could not tell you. but it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliography. Do not be deceived by believing I am a man of leisure, no.
Oh dear.
God.
Tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings?
Yes, Mr. Garideb, a retired military man.
It was the first time I've ever met a soldier. From the great British institution that is the services.
And it was the first time I've ever met a maid from the great British institution that is service.
He's very into these maids.
I didn't think it was that funny.
I do apologize. As you may be very well aware, many houses in London employ a maid.
Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer.
And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to be betokened as the social standing of those dwelling therein.
The social standing, yes.
Betoken their social Sorry?
Naruhodo is trying his absolute best to keep up with fucking English dandies. He's speaking their English dandyisms.
Wrestling with the English language itself. Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family.
Goodness, how extraordinary.
As you can appreciate, for those of the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance.
I had no idea.
Hello.
And it is precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garideb.
Oh?
He stimulates you, Shelms?
Quite so, I must say.
Have you seen the jar?
Admirable as he is, the fellow is hiding something.
Oh, fuck.
Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain.
I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say.
Oh, come on now, Ryunosuke.
It is a bit confusing.
This room is thoroughly suffocating for soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab someone sooner or later.
No, Shelms, don't say that.
Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one.
But sooner or later, as I said.
Shelms!
I don't believe that's the issue here.
About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea?
No window?
Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks.
It's bricked up.
Brick blocks?
It's bricked up.
I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax.
Window tax?
Bruh.
What is that?
Surely not a tax on windows.
Precisely that.
Oh my goodness.
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having an inheritable, sizable, and costly family home perhaps, rapidly closed windows on. While the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere. In an effort to curry favor with those in power, by furnishing them with large sums of tax money.
How awful and unjust. Forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light.
Indeed. Disease was rife as a result. So, some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example.
Damn.
I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps.
It would appear so. I've done a little digging, and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price.
Extraordinarily. Forticon, this is the turn of the century. This is 1900, maybe 1901 if you're lucky. Blech.
Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Yeah, likely.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago.
Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation.
Oh?
Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention.
Not worthy.
Are you sure? I'm curious now.
Well, Mr. Reyanowski, you know what to be curious about now?
Well, I believe I told you all I can now.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, yes, Mr. Naohiro. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law?
You remember that, did you?
Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it?
I'm not sure.
Mr. Nats's name.
I'm not sure. On what grounds?
Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday.
Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized. And so promptly, too.
It was pretty prompt.
The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence?
Yes. Trust.
Trust. Question, what's this?
Mr. Sholmes,
What's this in game?
it's in the United Kingdom, 1900 to 1902. Soseki Natsume. The 2 years I spent in London were the most unpleasant years in my life. Among English gentlemen, I lived in misery like a poor dog that had strayed among a pack of wolves.
Oof.
Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he?
My dear fellow, I have the first idea!
Oh, but... I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate?
Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I could possibly ignore them.
Couldn't
You know-
possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Storm strikes me as that kind of guy where you're like, you're the worst detective I've ever heard of. Ah, but you have heard of me.
Yes.
Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to have seen the same man committing the crime. Which is all I can say.
Well, thank you.
Well.
Ah, and one more thing.
That's 3 then.
Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us.
I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure
He is quite sure.
that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something.
Mr. Garideb is. Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he?
Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case.
Why do I feel like he's leading us along very strongly?
Mr. Naruto, he's leading you along very strongly to teach you how to be a better lawyer and detective.
I don't believe it. Have you looked at the man?
A lot, actually. As our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence.
No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Master Garideb. This is a secret.
Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naoto.
I wish you'd come along and hold my hand, Mr. Sholmes. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room.
Man, this guy.
Would they be good handholds for each other?
This guy.
Where is he? 34? It's a bit old, huh?
He's my age. Wow.
He's older than Natsume.
Yeah,
He's only a year older than you, right?
because
Yeah, he is.
Mr. Naruto is he's 21, right? 20,
Somewhere around there.
He's 21. I think he's actually 22. I think Kazuma is 23. I think Naruto is 22. The point is, it's far from illegal, but it's a little old, don't you think?
He was leading us on the ship too. What's his angle?
What's this angle about, in?
Well, he's not quite straight, I can tell you that much.
Fuck! I was drinking. You pay again. Tell me, was the detective chap? I forget his name. Still at heart at work down there?
I love this kind of man.
Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
He's putting on so much here.
Ah, yes, rings a big bell. All the detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid.
Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there.
Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you will please, Joan. Now then, why don't you tell me what? For the umpteenth time, woman, we want to.
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir.
Yes, of course. Really rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you. I shall have to ask you to leave. I'm sorry, I've had a stroke. If you would be so kind.
Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much of a chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. Like right now, please.
Alright, well, bye. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garideb is hiding something, and since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging.
Ryunosuke yearns for the mines.
I yearn for more than that if we take a look to the right there.
Let us in, bitch.
Hello.
Huh? Oh my god.
Ron, huh? Oh! What's he doing up there? Huh? How'd you sneak in here?
Real cryptid energy.
Oh
My God. Dude, where's he coming from? White man jump scare.
It's fine. It's funny. We were talking about this the other day, and Cal wasn't kidding. He really shows up everywhere.
Oh, Shady Melody, thanks for following.
Hello and welcome
Seriously,
to the
like,
stream.
you just hear in the corner of the room, just like, pshoo! Like, you just fucking instant transmissions in.
Where is Waldo?
What's he doing over there?
Mr. Sholmes?
Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows.
What?
Racist! What did you sneak in here?
Herlock Sholmes, sir. At your service.
Well, thanks, Shady Melodies.
What are we doing out the window?
I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madame. Sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here.
Well,
Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering.
One other thing, Mr. Naoto.
Oh, me?
I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detectives. Great mind.
Is it time?
Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon.
Why, you fool!
Do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
alright.
There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles.
Yeah, you saw that same thing in the corner.
I take it prepared, Mr. Naoto?
I think so.
There is just enough time for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark.
Yeah!
Mr. Garrett, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly would not what might call first rate.
Huh?
I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by careful observation of living arrangements.
Jesus!
I beg your pardon?
The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of ferocious beasts in your care.
Eh?
What possible ferocious beast could he have?
What did you mean by this?
What did he mean by this?
Which Sherlock Holmes story is he referring to?
Oh my god!
The second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you.
Mr. Otto, look!
The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
How could you possibly?
How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts!
Ah!
And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. I am known as Gazelle, king of mythical beasts.
The game was afoot. You finished having a conversation back there, right?
Yeah, they sure are.
Jeez.
It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take?
As he stares at Joan.
Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garideb, led us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue.
Sholmes!
Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. The fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, king of beasts.
What is this peripheral, I ask you?
In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house.
India!
What?
India!
I
See
saw
his
something.
face?
Yeah.
Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. Chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Where?
Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature disappear to? Madame,
But me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is?
Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. From protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show.
Oh!
Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garideb. At Batu Circus. A traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I have it over tense. You sold this savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe.
I most certainly did not.
I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. A simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire.
Chums, buddy. Jesus.
Now, Mr. Garideb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast.
Are there even lions in India? Oh, yeah.
Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go.
The Cairo. Few slices of bread short of a full loaf.
The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man. I simply...
But what, we must now ask ourselves, is the true case of his pain? And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer.
Oh.
Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given reason to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment.
Oh.
For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household.
Devastating.
And so you had no choice but to let it go.
Yes, well...
Now, in a final fit of rage, this ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable? God.
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over here. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst?
Oh,
This time, madame, I'm afraid it's you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes.
not the Tower of Cakes.
Oh.
Yum.
I mean, there is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noble woman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake?
She died.
Sure did.
A lot of people have.
There.
Food is the heart of all tragedy, in fact.
Food is the heart of all tragedy. Whatever do you mean?
Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey.
What did he mean by this?
I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out with the beast. There is only one logical conclusion.
Only one logical conclusion.
Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle.
I love him so much.
I'm just not
these
sure,
are
buddy.
so good, but these are murder on my voice.
You're killing it, Ray.
Ah! What is the matter with you, Joan? You're scolding hot tea all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garideb. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over.
That your cup runneth over.
Yeah, get him!
Sholmes, buddy.
Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too.
Oh,
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in. Again. But could I make an observation?
Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? Again.
Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size?
Indeed. It is the only explanation for facts. The terrifying truth is all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense.
But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
Holmes has no time for that.
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garideb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse.
Ah, that's where you are stuck.
Yeah! Of course that's where we're stuck! Fucking lion runs rampant in the room and the people inside it aren't harmed in any way, and we just- oh, that's where you're stuck!
Eat my shorts.
No doubt the war military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon.
Yeah, fuck off, Sholmes.
I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
Ah, my dear Mr. Sato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective race of breeding, and whenever anyone lands on the great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste. Afternoon tea.
You've gotta be kidding me.
British.
Oh, what a glorious notion!
Careful, spot of tea, mate!
What a
Well then,
glorious
Mr.
nation.
Naruto, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling that was coming.
A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' seductions need. You can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Excellent! I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo.
We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation.
Sholmes is just an absolute delight of a character.
At least that's what I want to believe.
Let us start again. From the beginning. Sherlock Sholmes, logic and reasoning spectacular.
Logic and reasoning spectacular. Hold it,
Hold
Mr.
it,
Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes.
What a good line. Fucking lion! Uh-huh.
A beast.
What form this beast might take. No.
I really didn't see the lion thing coming.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garideb's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
Yes, something with a very fierce nature.
But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India.
So what was it then?
We must follow Mr. Garideb's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer.
What's he looking at?
Oh? Wait, there's something behind.
Oh my god.
Look at this roll, right?
What's this photograph?
It appears to be from Mr. Garideb's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he?
He does, but you can't make out his bride.
Oh, no, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there.
Dear me.
Dear me.
Take that!
Take that! Oh,
Well, there wasn't a photograph frame. Behind the lion statue on the mantelpiece, almost deliberately hidden from view, is a photograph. Though I have yet to examine it in detail, I can assure you that it holds the answer. Because I'm employing an extremely advanced detection technique called jumping to conclusions, you see.
What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion?
Oh, well, It's supposed to be a logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show.
This is my show, Mr. Naruto. Kindly perform any particular experience on your own stage.
Sorry.
I've never fucked that up before. That's so fun. I'm so glad I did.
There is amazing lines for fucking up everything.
Well, if it's not the photo, what? Can I not present this? Ah. Yes, I see.
Take that!
In fact, a lot of hilarious jokes we will be missing out on because of that. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride.
Precisely, Mr. Naruto. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this frame printed pictures of your wife, Mr. Garideb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured,
We can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain.
His wife's a horse?
Damn.
Hans,
Ah,
But,
indeed, surely anyone of such power and constitution would be honored to be described as such a beast.
Yeah, sure.
honored might be stretching a point.
Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Garideb.
I'm still. Yeah. Where's the creature, madame? I mean, you could call me a beastly snake, I suppose.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile.
Oh, dear.
Liquid.
Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is
Snake?
quite right. There's no sign of a Miss Garideb anywhere.
But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garideb's wife could be. If only there was somewhere we could look. For example...
I see.
Sham sham sham.
Could it be?
Put a ring on it.
She's wearing a very large ring, look.
Oh, yes. A sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the
it's
ring
on-
finger of her
oh.
left hand, which means...
Let's try,
The-
Christian.
No, it's... If you look at
Her other hand.
Yeah, if you look at her other hand, it looks like the line there.
The line her
Where her-
hand is like poking into the text
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
It's surely a wedding ring.
It looks like it's on there for life, too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger that size.
She's fat!
That's something to think, Miss Naruto, not to say. Do you know Mr. Garideb's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one? It was a large sunflower design as well.
Oh, really? You have a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it?
Brinosuke, wake up,
Coincidence, huh?
buddy.
Take that!
Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Oh,
Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of this Mr. Garideb's bride in this photographic print.
oh my God, identical.
In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. You are not even roommates.
Oh God.
No. You and Mr. Garideb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garideb herself.
Oh my word!
Yes, indeed. Word, madame.
Word.
Word to your mother.
Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmise, this is my wife, yes. My Joan.
The wife.
Rather let herself go, you might say. Oh!
It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, and you are in business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct?
It's not right, I tell you. I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
Yes, here in London, one is rather judged.
Haha! Poor.
A household cannot be considered worthy of society when it employs no staff at all.
Foreshadowing.
Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are folly.
You mean Mr. Garideb has his wife work as his maid?
Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garideb?
Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret. Please.
Please.
I mean, yes, it might be on public record chat, but we don't have access to the public records.
We've been here for 2 days! This is our 2nd day here in London. Great old London!
Now, Mr. Garideb.
Yes, deep feelings for this formidable beast.
Now,
The
Mr.
pain you feel being relieved by that supporting arm.
Mr. Shums is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garideb's wife a beast.
Oh yeah, as well. Though we're all voicing characters. Thank you for the accidental compliment. We're trying to do our best.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Garideb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true!
Yes.
So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping his head has some other significance then.
According to Mr. Shums, Mr. Garideb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify?
Yeah, I've got my friends Ray, Ron, Derek, and Christian
Hello.
Yep.
voicing characters.
Howdy ho. Oh, ouch.
He's got a real shiner there.
It sure does.
Whoa!
Oh my, look at that bright red mark.
Gosh, that's quite something. It could be made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Garideb has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard.
Audacity.
Oh, Lena-san, you're too nice.
I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing?
Oh,
Well,
indeed.
There's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say.
Yeah, very limited number.
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek.
And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Joan Garideb?
Well, yes.
You have been desperate to hide that slap mark on your cheek, sir.
Sir.
How the blazes? How did you work that out, man?
Just look at his face profile.
Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow.
Garideb's coming at us like an Aperoid.
Apparoid.
That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view.
Well,
No, Ryunosuke, he's preserving the Moonis.
Let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such violence? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garideb to fly into a rage. You only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer.
Which is the bills?
Yes. Surely.
Didn't Mr. Shulm say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garideb's wife.
Mr. Naruto! She's a person, not a thing.
Yes, well. She's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder?
I'd love to know the answer to that question.
Well, 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 I wonder what it could be. Oh!
Oh,
God, I wish that were me, he says.
What's that bookmark doing over there?
Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garideb is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, so it isn't.
Juma, thanks for following.
It's a note written in a woman's hand.
ah.
Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
And look next to the signature here.
Lip marks, made with lipstick.
He cheated on his wife.
Passionate and romantic gesture.
Sorry.
Don't get any ideas, Susato-san.
Oh dear. I'm sorry.
So this bookmark is actually a love note then, huh?
Naughty,
inspect it
naughty!
So this card that looks like it's being used as a bookmark is actually a love note.
Yes, reading, oh James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
But Mrs. Garideb's first name is Joan, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
Da-na-na-na, my wife is mad. Da-na-na-na, my wife is mad. Holy shit.
Oh, yes, I believe we may be heading into dangerous territory here. It's very conspicuous after all, isn't it?
You mean the bright red lips next to the woman's signature?
Yes, it's the first thing you notice, of course. And it rather makes your heart skip a beat.
Doki doki.
Waku, waku.
Naughty, naughty!
Fua fua. Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer.
Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed.
Hold on then. Hold on, hold on. John.
John Garideb.
So
Not
it's
James.
not him.
Perhaps the sender of this note. A certain Miss Mary is the fly on the ointment here.
My wife is mad.
He's so
My
mad!
wife is mad.
Oh my god!
Please help me.
Oh!
Oh!
Yikes!
I don't know the Bali woman.
You don't know her.
That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there.
It was just in there, you say?
That's right. That's what I'm trying. Ah!
Unlikely story!
Now listen here, Shone. Old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at a second-hand place, and that note must have already been in there.
So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean?
Oh, no,
If I
not
never
again.
hit next, this cup will pour infinitely.
Oh no, not again.
Bottomless teacup!
Oh no, not again. That's right.
There's a
That's
j-
what I'm saying.
There's a jellyfish in there.
Unlikely story!
Which means the contents of that teacup is...
For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you'd forgotten, is Sean.
Unlikely story!
Are you questioning my name now?
God!
And there we have it. Arouse suspicious the female heart, you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite.
God.
and domestic abuse.
Oh no!
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable!
The aftermath of which can clearly be seen here was over the carpet over there. Very expensive woolly carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst?
Oh.
This time, madame, I'm afraid it's you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Capes.
Sholmes, come on, man.
But surely Miss Garideb didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper.
I mean, if they're straight, then she can't be a carpet muncher. No, that's true.
I don't
So-
get it.
This is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' seduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mr. Garideb's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. Miss Garideb, fuck.
Alright, let's see what we can see.
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
Gosh, I wonder. No. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds.
Yes. And
To
according
shreds,
Mr.
you say?
Sholmes' deduction. The tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly.
Oh, look here.
What is it?
If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks
Oh, yes, so you can.
made by a gun.
The cannon! In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all.
Let's rethink this with that in mind. Aha.
This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it?
The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over.
Punch it.
Oh dear, that would be dangerous.
Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Where could it be?
Yes, I didn't notice that before.
Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the three missing from its holder?
Golly gee whiz.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
Jack, fetch me a candlestick.
Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick.
It's most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth.
Logical labyrinth.
Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible.
Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away.
What's
It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation.
Mrs. Garideb's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face.
But on the entire room. The force of a strike caused the candle to fall from the holder.
And in seconds, the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames.
Nar.
Yeah.
For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman. Fire.
How poetic. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok.
Yeah. One
Eloquently put,
overworked.
my dear fellow. So you see, there's but one conclusion now.
Yeah, spin. Yeah, they did it. Love it.
After the
After
sparks
the
of
sparks of
marital
marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Almost. We're getting closer, Mr. Sholmes.
Closer!
You did your best. Oh,
Oh, shit!
Mr. Sholmes, sir, I salute you!
Damn, he's done.
Elementary.
My god. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there.
And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material?
Oh, thanks as well, though. I do too.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And Beast is most certainly. Ow!
Here we go again. Ba-da-ba-ba. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor?
Afraid to say it was. Happened in a blink of an eye, you know. The whole place was filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames.
Old stick.
You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining.
Sholmes!
That's sympathy for you.
Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind the screen for the time being.
Over here, Mr. Garideb?
Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me.
Oh, goodness.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case.
Grizzly.
But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke.
Gosh.
Then the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been. Or entertaining, as Shums put it.
There I was, back against the window, under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
Lion's Pride? Ah, yes. Your notorious love of big cats coming through again.
Of course it was called The Lion's Pride, you fucking lion man.
Maybe I am a lion, I assure you. The title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
I don't believe you.
No, dear sir.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage.
Mr. Shums' deductions turned out to be correct once again.
It can only be described as a great British wonder.
Great British Wonder Off.
I tell you, it was total carnage, flames everywhere, and the old stick in full fetal.
Rawr! It was a big spooky lion, rawr. Rawr.
Out of interest, what time of day was that?
Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now, let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think.
Well,
So at exactly the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window in the street below.
What a coinkydink.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I assure you.
You weren't stabbed, so I'm not sure about that one, Chief.
yeah.
The whole blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment. And I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
Mr. Shorms,
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. What can I do for you?
well, I think we got to the bottom of Mr. Garideb's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances?
I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
Thanks, buddy.
What?
My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether this secret would prove to be of relevance or not.
Oh, Sherlock. Sherlock Murlock.
I just knew you were going to say that.
Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories: those relevant to the case and those not.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter.
I do love that Sholmes just laughs. Like, serious situation, woman's been stabbed, he's not helping us at all, and just
It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry?
He's right, you know.
Visiting hours of the prison will soon be over.
Oh no. Is it that time already?
Yeah. If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case,
See you later, Oswaldo.
we have official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it. No more time to think.
You're out of time, Mr. Naruhodo.
Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garideb.
Oh yes. I'm so sorry.
Are you? Thank you both very much for your time. I didn't get to inspect the bookshelf. Rah!
Soseki-san will be waiting for us. And I'm going to have to give him an answer.
I lied.
She lied. What a miserable sight.
Oh dear. But at least the whole room wasn't engulfed in flames.
I suppose so.
Hydrate. Here comes the last of my drink.
But my whole collection went up in smoke, you know. All those novels I adored so much.
Well, John, whose fault is that?
Not mine, that's for sure.
Well, whoever may or may not be to blame, it's me. This is abuse. I'm quite sure you can buy some new old books to replace them, can't you?
New old books. Fully nonsense.
It does sound like a contradiction in terms, but then these two are full of contradictions. It's their charm point.
That's culpas for you, Mr. Naruhodo. Or so I've been led to believe.
Hand-packed husband.
That's the moon and the sun for you.
Well.
Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright.
Duck!
The
time
when
has
the
come.
moon is full, it begins to wane.
Time has come. The time has come, Duck.
To go to Mr. Natsume's room.
I meant to quack, but yeah. I did not mean to click this. I keep clicking elsewhere.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's hail a car. Oh,
What's the matter?
it looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garideb's house. This is you always get this when you leave.
So, one of you is this man right now, and is this man for the case that he shows up in much later. He loves Shakespeare, and he speaks like a Shakespeare character. Decide your destiny right now.
He's the
My
kind of
voice is ruined, I'm out.
he's the kind of I know thee not, old man. Fall
Duck
to
Christian
thy prayers.
Ron, it falls to thee.
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers.
Alright, Ron.
That's
I guess
clearly
I-
a Ron character.
Who are you calling, old man? You rum-looking nimty-bimpty.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Who's this Horatio fella, huh? What you on about?
Excuse me.
Hey, what the... Who are you now?
I'm sorry. It just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
Lawyer, what?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law.
Good old suntanned Popeye over here.
Fine, I'll be on my way for today, but mark my words.
Ah,
This ain't over yet.
he dabbed!
It's thee to a nunnery.
Oh!
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
You look like a bloomin' onion. That was meaningless.
He said, get thee to a nunnery. Oh my god.
Get the hints.
I do hope you're not injured.
Oh, fairest maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you.
What was that all about?
I might go for a deeper voice for him next time.
Sure, Ron.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
I'm not a ratio either.
Forgive the
Race-
inquiry, sir. But
Ratioed. Anyway.
Who ratioed?
are you a lodger here in the Garideb residence?
Oh, fairest maiden, thou art so right. Queen, yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
Slay!
Mr. Garideb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he?
Oh my god.
This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy of polemist in my battle of words ne'er could there be.
Sorry? Battle, did you say?
Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night.
I see. Power levels.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least.
So fair maiden, so good gentleman. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. Away!
Bye.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garideb house is suddenly full of eccentrics. Not to mention the Garidebs. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over.
I went to the bathroom, so I missed that entire conversation.
Well,
They
you didn't
will
miss
be
much.
in the VOD. They'll be in the VOD.
Speaking of in the VOD,
We're almost done with the day. Like, it's just this conversation. And then it's the case.
Christian, you're such
the
a little
court.
one more kind of person. Just one more little bit. One more.
Call him a Persona player because... One more.
His face.
Oh, it's you. You're here, you came. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Squire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched.
Shows in the doll where Naruhodo touched you.
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, no. Think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese.
Jesus.
Oh, now, let's not get carried away.
Is this who I think it is? Is this Ron?
Oh shit.
Oh, it's Ray!
It is through a friendship transcending in international borders that one truly appreciates the fact.
I was like, is this House Onaga? No.
I think we've left him behind.
Such is my belief, at least.
Oh, it's, yes, it's you! Miserable, rotten spot! Herlock Show!
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here?
I have no intention of doing anything, per se. Save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring.
He's devastated and divested, that's for sure.
roomful of room.
At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option.
Sholmes.
Damn! Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight, and cost me not a penny.
Og, you! How dare you, Herr Locksholmes! Oh, I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should have never come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake.
True!
Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt all my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life has been damned.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean.
And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words.
What?
Huh?
Cursed is the wholly appropriate description, I would say.
Is it?
For the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What's that supposed to mean?
He'll never tell you.
Wow.
Mr. Natsume, have you seen my armband?
Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed.
Oh no! Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I see. That's really agitated him.
You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow?
Are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper of the Bailey.
Reaper?
Reaper.
A Reaper? Oh no! Well, what do you mean?
Ron sends his regards.
Lady Edelgard.
Edelgard.
Please, tell me! Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words!
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever.
Oh my goodness, can it be really true? That was 16 words exactly!
Was it? Hold on.
Oh my god, really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He had to add the ever. I think he paused to count.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGilded.
What?
I'm impressed, Mr. Sato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes. Surely it can't be that, having failed to have the accused convicted...
Actually, Rianowski.
Lord Van Six killed the man himself.
Oh no. He couldn't have, surely.
Why are you dotting, Sholmes?
You have some wonderful notions!
Is this really a time to laugh, buddy?
It's always time to laugh. Sorry?
The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes. Why, of course he is.
I like Krista's reaction.
Ugh, of course he is! Then why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however. Real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis.
Uh-oh.
What on earth do you mean by that?
What does he mean by that?
The Weeper.
Shinigami.
Aw, man.
Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception.
Correct.
That's good.
Soseki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy.
As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system, where the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view.
Yeah.
However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated.
Fuck.
Right.
Criminals, and corrupt lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage.
Oh, fuck.
By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impossible witnesses, and so on.
That blows.
By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly is from time to time, my dear madame. It is simply the reality of the situation.
Oh.
And that's alright.
However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Fate sealed.
Oh my.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months, all disappear. It's most striking.
Disappear? But how?
Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever. Or perhaps attacked by highwaymen.
Oh, no.
The Thames.
All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naoto.
Oh, I knew it. I'm a dead dodo, done for, doomed.
Doomed.
When you said accursed lodgings, sorry, entirely different track here, so you were referring to your room at at Mr. Garideb's house, I assume.
Oh, yes, I'm ruined.
Do you mean to do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed?
It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain,
Banana.
but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself.
That didn't take long then.
Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing, behind my back. I was sure people were talking about it. I started to become nervous about going outside.
You could say that it's been 1 week.
They were always staring, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times. Most recently to that room on Briar Room. A week ago now.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed. Oops." He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him. If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place.
The room is
Yes.
cursed. Oops.
Well said.
But it was true. It was all true.
You mean the room really is cursed then.
Ever since I moved into the windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death.
The books may have something to do with that, maybe.
Well,
And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street.
And also the
well-
window.
we'll actually learn something about this whole chokering later on.
Yeah.
I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
If there
Said
was, if only there
shivers
was-
to so sicky.
if only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all?
No
one?
To believe. Yes, to believe.
No one knows what it's like to be hated.
Mr. Shorms,
Ah, me, Mr. Maroto. Pray, what can I do for you?
it's about the case on the SS Buria. If you recall,
Booyah!
Liberia. Liberia. Ah, that case. The one with the snake?
Bruh.
close enough, sir. Well, yes. At the time, I was the suspect. But you believed in me and listened to my side of the story.
Sort of.
And you helped us to investigate.
Sort of.
I did. Interesting.
What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe me?
I see, yes. You mean? Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow? Found with the victim in a locked room?
Well, if you like, yes.
If you like.
I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said. I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you've misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned.
Damn.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made my elementary error of judgment, nothing more.
Nothing more.
Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse in my opinion.
Meeting?
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can not one can trust oneself.
Yes, he's right. He's right, Mr. Locum, student, Mr. Naruhodo, Mr. Esquire.
Mr. Naru. So Seki, calm down.
Whether or not I
Mr.
can believe myself.
A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
It's his boyfriend.
Thank you for following Turbo Ass Eater.
Dog. There's a reason I was reading it.
You are so right, Kazuma.
Bro. Come on.
Sorry.
These are clearly troll accounts that just want you to say a stupid name.
I thought it was funny.
Well, it wasn't.
Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
Huh. So Seki's like, yes, I would.
Oh dear, there is never enough time, is there?
Just say you'll accept the case, damn it!
Mr. Natsume. If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow,
Do it.
I'd be happy to represent you.
Welcome, Mr. Student, Mr. Naruhodo, Mr. Esquire.
Look at Sholmes.
As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial.
Something crucial?
What to believe in. The defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even.
Damn.
But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime.
Damn.
And it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Look, Mr. Student, Mr. Naruhodo, Mr. Esquire.
I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow.
What good friends.
Oh. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue.
Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Susato,
Yes?
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely not. Fuck you, Naruhodo. I'm leaving. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
I like how it took Phoenix a case 5 to make up his mind so strongly.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now, too. So it's time. Time that I learn to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster.
To begin you.
That was great. I love that.
Aren't you glad we kept going?
Well, there's our
Yeah.
first investigation section. 4 out of 5 cases into the game.
That's great. You know, one thing I love about Sholmes is that he is very subtly, and not very subtly at all, trying to push Naruhodo to be a better person, or
Yeah.
better at this, more confident.
Yeah, it's very clear that he's trying to lead him rather than being an idiot. It's
Yeah.
very evident.
Obfuscating stupidity is the trope, you know.
He's still pretty dumb.
But
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
there's definitely that.
All right, Mr. Chat Howdow, it's time for me to say goodbye. Yeah,
Oh boy.
hope you had a good time. This is a bit late of a stream, but I had a good time, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Final Fantasy 14.
For real?
For real, yeah.
For
Really
real?
fantastic.
Real
14.
for real. Hold on, I think I took a screenshot of the character already. Hold on. Posted it on Twitter, but no one uses Twitter anymore.
I know that feel.
In a couple of weeks, I'll be
There.
streaming the Final Fantasy 16 demo.
Chat, there she is. Yeah, we'll take a lizard all the way through ARR and then Heaven's Word and Stormblood and Endwalker. And I don't know. I just feel like I really like Final Fantasy 14 and I want to play the story with you guys. So, yeah, Lizard.
Yeah.
There's no way you enjoy Final Fantasy 14.
Me
Never heard such a thing.
enjoy Final Fantasy 14? That's improbable.
You are an S-Class?
So, anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow for that. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
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 Well,
Bye-bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye-bye.
you are the champion.